the job site currently. This thing needs debarked. Have some white oak. It's good for not rotting. That's ash that is not like white oak, and it will rot. Move some boulders. For a rough footprint, centerpiece rock just marks the center. Right here where this red brick is marks the fireplace location. Worked out that these two logs have a little down slope to them, so that little 4x6 timber marks the one of the doors, so these logs protruding out can be used as stringers for steps. That rock where the red brick is, I'd like to replace it with a much better foundation stone. I've got more round timber to pull to this location, and I'd like to get some better rocks. Been experimenting with a rocket mass stove. And over there, a big white oak fell a while ago. I'll be over there in a few minutes to take some pictures to show that situation. What's there and why I've been spending my last 2 days, and today's the start of the third day over there. Okay, this is the top of this tree. The butt of this tree that's up high is what we've seen from across the pasture. Last year, me and Victoria and Amarina Mateo were walking up the middle of the pasture just on the other side of that cow, and we seen this fall happen. And that big oak, dead standing, toppled, took out this long birch that the rope is tied to, took out a beech. It's all underneath here. Took out a couple of small buckeye. Took out 2 hemlock. One was in that root ball still on the top of it. Hung up, snagged up in the top of those trees, and then here's another hemlock snagged up in the top of those trees. And that whole root ball mass wants to tumble. Tumble down. And that big oak is partly propped up by the hemlock that's snagged. I started cutting on this birch. It's cut about 85 to 90% of the way through. And I was standing on Actually, I was hanging from that to make the cuts that I made. And I realized when that birch goes, that root ball might tumble, moving that hemlock, unlodging the oak, which I was tied to. I cut through like that to about 75 to 80%. Then I thought better and gave myself a top rope. That oak is strong, but doesn't have the best footing. And the top of it got ripped out when this crash happened. But now it's tied up there. It's holding with big snatch blocks. So I got the weight of the butt of the tree, and then it goes up, runs all the way out, and is resting on the nose. So I'm going to try to get that nose cone on it and drag it out of here with the Tahoe and hope that that last little bit that's attached just breaks free when the nose of it does its hinge over. And so long as this rope system holds, and I believe it will, then maybe with some small modifications. There are some rocks in here I'd like to get for foundation pieces. So maybe this little top rope can be repurposed into some rock collecting too. Oh, and this huge oak, even though it's pretty cheesy in places, has mushrooms growing out, but there also is some really good heartwood in this. So this is going to be collected for firewood, and a bunch of those branches are birch from the tree that got squashed. Those are going to be good kindling. There's a bunch of hemlock branches in here that are extremely good kindling. And for the rocket stove, that big splinter off of the beach. For the rocket stove, that smaller wood is better. Anyway. Oh, and then there's a couple of really cool old root balls up here I'm going to collect. There's one freaking cool one, and that one's not super special, but kind of, I mean, it is special. It's completely unique, but it doesn't quite have the same character as the other one up top. Alright, this is the terrain and the site for day 3. So that birch was about 40 feet long. I cut it to about a 24 and a 16. Now I'm going to hook up to the Tahoe and drag it. traction saver. Hand saw cut. Barber chair. Okay, so the birch has been cleared out. Next thing I'm going to do is work on getting some artistic pieces out, some firewood out, and hopefully some rocks out. The block dangling there is going to become a top anchor point. I'm moving the tail end, that other end, up higher into an oak, and that'll catch the weight or hold the weight elevated. And then I'm going to do a zip line from up back to out here to either the four-wheeler or the Tahoe. Put a trolley on it, and the trolley will be hooked where that block is attached, dangling in the middle of that rigging rope. And that'll be the attachment to the top of the trolley for vertical load support, also to give some movement left and right out here. And then there will be a second rope through the trolley that is a lifting and lowering. And the other end of it might be out here to the winch at the back of the Tahoe, or hooked up to the front of the trailer, actually, so that I could winch things right to the trailer. That'd be the fucking cat's meow. On that note,